today. We have 90 minutes for the demo. VSee will provide us with a quick round of introductions at the start of their presentation and then move into their demo, which we have allotted 50 minutes for, and then move into a 35-minute Q&A session. A quick reminder that the meeting is being recorded. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Becky Wai with VSee. Becky.
All right. Thank you so much, Trilani. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a good lunch and feeling happy and hopefully not too sleepy for our presentation. And first of all, on behalf of the VSee team, I would like to thank Moffitt and its team for this great opportunity. And we are all very excited to be here today. All right, I'm going to share my presentation slide. Okay, great. You can see my slide, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so from our team, I am Becky Wei. I'm the Executive VP of Strategic Partnerships. And with me here today, I have Dr. Milton Chen, co-founder and CEO, Dr. Erica Chuang, co-founder and Executive VP of Product. And I also would like to share that we are a premier contracted supplier, and I've included our premier contract number at the bottom. All right, so here's the agenda for today. We have done the introduction, and then we'll do the very brief VSee overview, and then we'll dive into the live functional demo. And then for the Q&A, we allocated for 30 minutes, so please keep all of your questions towards the end of the section. All right? Okay, so before we overwhelm you with everything, I would like to share a famous quote about partnership that says, if everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. And just like in this picture, you, Moffitt Cancer Center, be the #1 car raiser and just focus on thriving. And we, VSee team, will be your crew pit and we'll take care of everything else. All right. So what is VSee? So VSee is no-code, low-code digital health building blocks. So let me explain what is no-code, low-code building blocks and why are they so powerful. So I will start with the no-code. So imagine 20 years ago, if you want to make a small change in your web application, you need to learn how to code. And today, there's no code, meaning that you and your physicians and your admin staff, they can easily make changes without IT help. That is why it's called no code. And you can make these changes very quickly within seconds because these are just one click, turn on, turn off switch. So if you look at the very top of this diagram, you see we have 247 no-code configurations. Those are the changes that you can make yourself. And we also have 259 low-code APIs customizations. So let me explain you what low-code means. And again, imagine VSee as the Home Depot for the digital health. Unlike our competitors, we don't give you a cookie cutter house, that you cannot remodel or make changes anymore. And instead, over the past 14 years, we have developed these modifiable building blocks that we can handpick and assemble together like Lego blocks and create a custom home, aka tailored digital health solution for you. So if you look at the top part of this diagram, you see we have these building blocks such as patient portal, scheduling, forms, remote patient monitoring, and virtual visits. And all of these modules or building blocks, they sit on top of our secure and compliant infrastructure. And we are HIPAA compliant, and we also have a SOC 2 certification. And these building blocks are very powerful, again, because of the no-code, low-code. And low-code allows end users to make changes within seconds, and low-code gives our engineers to make customization really fast. In fact, even building the mobile apps can be done within a few days. So that's why these no-code, low-code approach is very powerful, and it makes the entire platform flexible and customizable, and that gives you speed to build your custom tailored solution. All right, so now let's take a look at the lower left corner. This is our data integration ecosystem. We understand that no single platform can do everything. So integrations are very crucial to leveraging other technologies. Excuse me. So example, if you look at here, we have integrated with health information exchange network, such as Commonwealth and Care Quality, and revenue cycle management systems like Change Healthcare and Advanced MD, and also patient monitoring and wellness devices from Welchland, iHealth, and many others. And then in the lower right corner, you see we also integrate with major EHR systems like Epic and Cerner. And the reason we can do so much integration is that we have our own in-house expert integration teams, and we are constantly growing our integration ecosystem according to our client needs. All right, let me go to the next slide. So let me recap from the previous slide. So you will ask, like, why VSee? Because of these three main differentiators. First one, no-code, low-code building blocks that gives you adaptability, scalability, security, and robustness. And with that, you will get lowest life cycle cost and speedy go-to-market and guarantee 1 day, 1 month customizations. And then our second differentiator is our existing integration ecosystem. And we have rich data connectors, we have our own in-house expert integration teams, and ultimately, we will give you the unified single system. And the third one, and the last differentiator, is our emphasis on science-based user experience or UX design that gives you delightful patient experience, efficient provider workflows. So the whole VSee solution is built on evidence-based design principles. We work closely with our clients to deeply understand their goals and applying a repeatable design process that gives optimal results again and again. So with our key UX design differentiator, we are confident that we can deliver you the superior tailored experience, patient experience, and we can also enable you to grow and adapt beyond your current needs. All right, so with these three differentiators, we drive client success. So let's take a look at our client success stories. So the first one is the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health. We went live within 7 business days, and we onboarded more than 800 providers, and we delivered a tailored platform to service more than 1 million patients. And most importantly, we replaced their manual workflow processes with automation. And the second one is Centene Magellan Health. So with Magellan, we went live within 11 weeks, and we migrated them off from 6 different applications to 1 single VSee system. And then the third one, sorry, my screen froze for a second. Are you still seeing my screen? No? Okay, let me refresh it. Give me 1 second. Then let me stop sharing. Okay. Right, let me refresh. This is very ironic. We're talking about how technology is great, and my screen just gave up on me. So give me a few seconds. I apologize for this. Okay.
Don't worry, Becky. No pressure. No pressure whatsoever.
Okay, thank you, Rick. All right, come on, slides. Let me see. Right. Let me see if I can share the slide another way. I have the PDF as well. Oh, Erica, do you think you can share the Figma slide from your end?
Yeah, I'm launching that. I'm trying to get to the slide you're on.
Okay, thank you.
You are on the client success, right? Okay,
yes.
Got it. Does somebody need to hand me the, ask me the screen share? I can do that. There. Everybody see this?
Okay, it's starting. Oh, okay, now I can see the screen. Yes. Okay, all right, back to Sentient Magellan. So yes, so we migrated them off from 6 different applications, and we moved them to the one single VSee system. And we also designed their new efficient call center workflow, which we will talk more about it later. And then as a result, they were able to grow from 2 programs to 5 programs within 4 months. And then the next success story is Texas Oncology. We designed their new patient registration workflow and significantly reduced the patient wait time from 11 minutes to less than 1 minute. And we also increased the provider satisfaction by designing effective care team communication that reduced phone tags and missed calls. And they were able to scale up to more than 1,000 providers and more than 1,800 appointments a day. And key to this success story is our emphasis on the design process. And we are very proud of our design team, not only providing a functional solution, but also elegant and effective solution. So our design team is led by our co-founder, Erica Chuang, and she has always worked with our clients side by side from day one. So besides Erica and her design team, you will also be working with our implementation team, integration team, customer success team, project management, and account management teams from day one as well. All right, Erica, next. So who else use VSee? So we have more than 2,000 clients, including Magazine, LifeStance, Optum, and DaVita. And our most famous customer is, Erica, next slide. Is NASA International Space Station. We are the exclusive video communication platform for them, and we had 0 outage in the last 10 years. And we are so honored to say that we have been selected for the Back to Moon mission as well. All right, next slide, Erica. Okay, now let's focus on Moffitt. We have a vision for you, which is Moffitt will be the #1 cancer center in the US, leading cellular immunotherapy and other groundbreaking cancer treatments, and a household brand with global impact, influence, and recognition. And we clearly understand your goals, and here are the results we will deliver to you. So your #1 goal is to enhance consumer engagement, clinician experience, research discoveries, and business operations through implementation of digital tools and impactful digital discoveries. So for that one, we will give you digital transformation. We will enable a superior personalized patient experience and efficient provider experience with custom solutions. And your #2 goal is to create revolutionary breakthroughs and innovations with rapid impact on the prevention and cure of cancer. So for that one, we will give you innovation. We will partner with you to discover new digital solutions that improve cancer care and research processes. And your #3 goal is to progress equity in workforce diversity, patient care accessibility, and economic impact on the surrounding community. For that one, we will champion our efforts in equity, diversity, and inclusion alongside with you. All right, Erica, next slide. Okay, so now it's time for the live demo. So for the live demo, we will start with the patient journey, and then we will briefly go over provider efficiency and administrator capabilities. Next. All right, so for patient journey, we combined all the requirements from the original RFP document and also from the demo package. So we will cover all those items. So first, we will do account creation and account management to show you sign up, login, authorized user, and then branding and customization and communication with the care team. Then patient self-scheduling and appointments management. And then we'll show you the patient personalization and all the PHR features and patient personal dashboard. And lastly, we'll show you the patient mobile app with prospects to patient journey and also patient check-in experience. All right, so for that one, let me share my screen again because I have the live demo. Okay, all right. Okay, great. You see the Moffitt page? Yes? Okay. All right. So how do we drive patients to the patient portal, right? So we have a number of ways. So patient can get to their patient portal starting from the Moffitt homepage. So they can click on My Moffitt, and if they click there, that will take them to the Moffitt patient portal. And then the other ways are they can download the patient mobile app from the app stores. And your provider, they can also send invites, and then your marketing teams can send out the patient welcome kit with the link to the patient portal. And then if you want to link the patient portal from any third-party application or website, we can also do that. We provide single sign-on and the APIs. All right, so for the demo, let's imagine patient comes to the Moffitt homepage, click on here, and then they get to the patient portal. So here they can sign up as a new patient. So we have an eligibility check for the new patients. So for your patient, they can type in their name and their date of birth. So let me type that in. And then they can also include their email. Okay, then they can click on sign up. So we'll do the real-time eligibility check. So now we see that you are not eligible. So we can customize this error message and then redirect the patient to the Moffitt. And then if they are eligible, let me show you. Then they can go ahead and create a new account with their email address. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to show you the registration process. It's just a typical demographic information and complete the registration. So for this demo, imagine I created an account. I will log in as a new patient, Susan. Okay, so let me log in as Susan. Okay, so now I log in as a patient, Susan Wong. All right. So before I get into more details, let me mention about the authorized users. So any authorized users such as caregivers, family members, volunteers with patient's approval, they can create an account for the patient, and they can also have access to patient information. And the second thing I want to mention here is account management capabilities. So we do have account management capabilities, and we do not require Moffitt to own account management. Okay? All right, so patient portal. So before I show you all the features inside, I want to share my personal experience with EHR. So recently, I was going through the pre-surgical preparation process myself, and I need to use my EHR, which is not VSee, a disclaimer, okay? So when I log into my EHR, and I saw a gazillion things pop up, like texts, like actions, like reminders, like pending, all of them are saying the same thing, like do it now, do it now, do it now. So you know what I did? I just simply closed it out and did nothing, because it was very overwhelming. And until they called me and they told me to do one specific thing, and then I just did that, because it was really scary to get into the patient portal. So my point here is that at VSee, we bring our own personal daily struggles and also collect feedback from other actual users. And then we apply science-based design principles to reduce all these visual clutters and even minimize the number of clicks the patient has to go through to give the simple yet best patient experience. All right, okay, now I can show you the patient portal. Okay, so the patient portal that you are seeing right now, please keep in mind that this is an out-of-the-box solution. So this is not what you will get. This is just features we will show you. Of course, we understand, all the enterprise customers, they always have their, specific customization and specific needs. So we'll do the customization based on these features. All right. So at the top, you see welcome message, and you can also create a clinic description for your patient. And here, patients see that the current number of patients waiting is 0. So as a patient, if I have an urgent issue and if I need to talk to the doctor right away, I can get into the waiting room, or I can book an appointment for a later time. And I can also submit a request to the care team. And then down here, we have the educational materials. It could be videos, slideshows, pictures, anyhow you like it. And then down here is the My Care team. So patient can see the provider information, and also they can see their provider status. And then on the right-hand side, patients see their upcoming appointments, their recent visit, and their recent activities. And then the next topic I want to show you is the branding and customization. So as you can already see, we apply the Moffitt logo, and then we apply the Moffitt color theme, and we also include the Moffitt educational materials here. If you have additional branding requirements, we can work with you and then customize it. All right, and then the next topic is communication with the care team. So patient has a couple of options. So the first one is to submit a request. This is for the simple request like prescription refill. So for that one, they can submit the request, and then anyone on the care team member, they can get back to the patient. And then if the patient want to specifically reach out to a provider, then they can just click on the message button. They can send the messages. They can also send documents like, lab reports, like test results, even the simple images that they want to share with their provider. And then all of these messages, patients can track all of them under chats here. So they can see the individual messages here, and they can also see their group message. So patients can be included in the group chat with the entire care team. All right. Okay. Right. So I got the chat message on Zoom. Okay. I will keep all the questions till the end because we have so many things to show you. So, but we will get to that questions later on. Okay. All right. Let me close these chat windows to make things simple. All right, okay, so next topic is patient self-scheduling and appointments management. So patient can self-schedule by clicking on this book appointment button, and then it's asking who is this visit for? This visit is for myself, but if I want to schedule for my dependent family members like kids, then I can also do that. We have a dependent account management. All right, for this demo, is it just for myself? And then reason for visit, hey, I'm a new patient. I need a new consultation. All right. And then I can enter the zip code. Oh, by the way, this is the simple intake form. We can customize the intake form for you. In fact, we can also customize the entire intake process. So this is not the final solution we'll give you. All right, so locations. Oh, there are so many Moffitt locations. I don't know. I'm a new patient. So let me just choose any location. And then as a new patient, I don't feel like I want to go there in person yet. So let's do virtual first. And then visit option, this is for consultation. And then upload, yes. I have a burning questions about this, let me see, this skin image. So I want to share with my provider. So I upload the skin image. And I also want to opt in for the sooner appointment availability. So let me continue. And then here now I see all my past current medical conditions, allergies, and current medications. All of this information, we pull those data from Cerner EHR, and then we can display, and then we can pre-populate it. So patients don't need to fill it out again. And let me continue. And the next one is select a visit option is for the consultation, 30 minutes, $100. Okay, next. Do you have a health insurance? Yes, I do. And then I see all my health insurance information here. And then I can also upload my insurance card picture front and back. And then I can continue. Again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do continue because it will do the real-time verification check, which will take like 30 seconds to a minute. So let me say no for now and continue. All right, next is the online payment. So I can choose a credit card on file and continue. And then next, I should be able to see the available appointments. All right. So I can choose an option to see any provider or a specific provider. Again, because I'm a new patient, I don't care. I can see anyone. I just care. I want to get a soonest available appointment. So let's say for this afternoon, confirm. And then once I confirm it, I will get the appointment confirmation email and also SMS notification. Same thing for the appointment reminder. I'll get SMS and email notifications. Because remember, I chose the virtual visit, so it's asking me to test my video and audio devices. But for demo, I'll skip it for now. Okay. All right, so this is the appointment that I just created right now. So I can see it under the upcoming appointments. And for the virtual visits, we do provide HIPAA compliant video calls and phone dial-in. So let me state here, we do not need to connect to your existing communication software. We have our own built-in HIPAA video. Okay. All right, and then next one. So patients can manage all of their appointments under Visits tab. So here they can see all of their upcoming visits, and also they can see their past visit, which like location, which provider, for how much, and also the invoice status, and also they can click on view to see the visit summaries. Okay, all right, next topic is personalization. So for the personalization, I'll go to the patient profile. So patient can update their demographic information. They can update their pharmacy. We have an e-prescribe feature, so patient can select the pharmacy in their portal and then receive the medications there. And they can also update their insurance information, and they can track all of their bills here. And they can see the details of each bill, and they can see the invoice status. They can also download the super bill from here. And next one is preferences. So here, patient can set how they would like to receive notifications, like email and push, or SMS, or both. And also by default, we enable the Google login. And also for the video call, we enable the web browser video call, so the patient don't have to download anything. They can just click a button to start the meeting. And other personalization is languages. So we support 20 languages. And we also support the auto caption for the video call. All right. Okay, next topic is patient health records, PHR features. So for PHR features, let me go under health. And then I will start with the medical history. Again, patient can see all of their histories here, and these will be pre-populated for the patients. And if they need to, they can update it here. And same thing for allergies, and then for the medications, and then documents. So this is where patients will see all the documents shared by their providers. All right, let me go back to this tab. So this tab is showing the health trackers. So right now as a patient, I'm tracking my blood pressure, blood glucose, etc. And this is the daily view. I can also look at my weekly view and the monthly view. And here we are only showing 5 trackers. We have more than 5. So if you need to add additional trackers, we can also do that. For example, symptom trackers. So symptom tracker will be one of the modules that we can add on here. And then for today, Erica, can you share the Figma slide again? So for the symptom trackers, we'll show you.
You have to. Oh, I'll just. Okay.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Okay. Okay, great. So for symptom tracker, we know that you would like to customize your symptom trackers. So we can definitely do customization. So please keep in mind that this is just an example to show you what we could do for you. So we can have the graphical visualizations for your patient population like this, and also, graphic over time. And then we have our design and implementation to work closely with you to customize it. And then we have done similar customized and manual trackers like this for our client Welch-Allyn. So we can definitely work with you to customize. All right, next. Next is test results. I know test results is one of the key features patients rely on. We have done LabCorp integration for our clients to display the test results. And in fact, this is a design based on one of our patient wellness portals that we built. And this can be, again, fully customizable. But for now, we are doing the color-coded results based on the normal ranges. So you can see green being normal, and orange being the, like borderline, red being high risk. And again, if you have any display preferences, we can customize it for you. And then all these customization, we can do it like really fast in the initial go live. It could be within 3 months. And then after the go live, if you want to add more customization, it will be even faster. It could be 1 month. Because like initial go live, because we have to piece like everything together to build a home. So that's why it takes about 3 months. But after that, usually customization are a month. All right, Erica, next. All right, patient care plan. So for the care plan elements, it totally depends on what you want to bring over from the Cerner, and then we can display it here. That can be discussed more by Erica later on. Okay, and all of these patient informations, including the care plan, their bills, their test results, patient can download and then print them, and they can also share with their authorized users. All right, next. Okay, next is the patient personal dashboard. Again, this is just an example what we could do for you. If you don't like this layout, we can move around, okay? So we see the personal dashboard as an area that make Moffitt experience really stand out and be localized for the Moffitt community. So we propose a Facebook-like community experience that match cleaner look. And here, patient can see reminders very easily at the top. And then for this example, patient needs to fill out the assessment form before the appointment. So she can just click on view forms and complete the online forms. And patient can also pin their most used features such as scheduling, test results, log a symptom, and they can also add more shortcuts here. And then in the middle, if you look at it, patient can follow, join, and participate in community posts for the peer support. So they can follow those groups. And then at the bottom, patient can have access to the educational material and they can get help from the Moffitt team. And then if you look on the right-hand side, you will see upcoming appointments, and we can also have the medication tracker, and patient will see their care team member. All right, next. Okay, so for all the patient notification, including the recent activities, we can combine all of them together and then put it under the notification center. So patient don't see a lot of notifications on their dashboard, and then keep this very simple. And then now I'm gonna bring your attention back to the community post. So when patient click on those community posts, Erica, next, they will get to the searchable content library where they can search for more topics and then they can read more about it. And then for the library, we do not have a preferred library. So if you have your preferred content library, we can definitely integrate with that library. Okay. All right, next. Okay, I'm not seeing the update from the screen. Oh, okay, now I see it. All right, so next one is the patient mobile app. So all the features we show you in the web portal, we have them in the patient mobile app as well. We just cannot show you both web and the mobile because of the time limit. That we make sure that all the features are available on both mobile and then the web equally. All right, so for the mobile app, let's start with the prospects. So for your prospects, meaning that they are not yet enrolled patients. So for them, we can show community posts and then peer support groups, which are very useful and helpful for the prospects, so they can start, interacting with those groups. And they can also have access to their content library where they can search and then read about their condition. And they can also have access to the valuable features such as health trackers and symptom trackers. So here you are already adding values to your prospects, and they can benefit from the app, and then they feel encouraged to become Moffitt patients. All right, next. So once they become enrolled patients, they have more features available for them, such as reminders, personal dashboard, scheduling, and they can also see their test results, track their bills, and they have direct access to their care team members through chat and the video calls. So this is exactly what we are doing for Welch Allen patient mobile app. We enable them to acquire more prospects and convert them into patients. So we can bring in our experience, and again, we can work with you and customize and determine, what features should be available for the prospect and what features for the patients. All right, Erica, next. All right, so patient check-in experience. So before the appointments, patient will get the reminder text messages to fill out the form. So they can fill out the form on their mobile, and then they can sign it, all the intake features. And then after that, and they can get the directions, and they can even request and schedule a ride, from their patient mobile app. We do integrate with Uber and Lyft, so patient can schedule either Uber or Lyft from their mobile app. And then once they get to the, on-campus parking area, then we can also show them the map, to get to their location. So we can direct them from room to room or buildings to buildings. And then the last one is once they get to their waiting room, the physical waiting room, they can browse through the educational materials inside their patient mobile app. And they can also call their family member right from their app so that they can join the visit. All right, so this is the last slide for the patient journey. I know this is a lot to take in. So Erica, if you can go back. Go back to the previous slide. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I just want to recap. So I'm pretty sure you have seen like a dozen patient portals already, and they may all look the same to you. So I would like to summarize the patient journey here. So what makes our product, very different is that our no-code, low-code approach, we can easily adjust things to your requirements and your needs. And more importantly, we are not here just to win the RFP. We are here to be your long-term strategic partner. So, we have learned that from our clients, usually they are not sure what they need until they have the product. So, we typically suggest our clients to go live within 3 months time frame with a minimal viable product, because that will save you first time, second budget, and then third your efforts. Because after go live, we can collect feedback and we can make more tweaks and more adjustments and more customizations. It will be an ongoing process. So after go live, we will have phase 2, phase 3 with additional improvements and customizations. So this is going to be a long-term strategic partnership. So that's the closing of the patient journey. So now let's move on to provider efficiency and then the administrator capability. So that will be the live demo. So Erica, if you can stop sharing, I will share it from my end. Okay, let me grab it. Okay, so this one. Okay, wait 1 second. All right, now I'm gonna log out as a patient and log back in as a provider. Okay, let me log in as a provider. Okay. All right, so now it's loading up. All right, so if you look at the provider dashboard, again, let me remind you, this is out of the box solution. This is not the final solution that you will get, okay? If you pay attention to the left-hand side, this is what we call it collaborative case management dashboard, where the care team can see all the patients coming from all different clinics in single dashboard, and then the entire care team can see them. So for example, this patient, Louis, he's coming from Moffitt at Memorial. And then another patient, Jackson, he's coming from McKinley, and Paul is from International Plaza. So you get the idea. You can manage all of them in the same place. And then for each patient, you can see their wait time. So this patient has been waiting for 40 minutes. And then you can see the different stages that they are in. So these 3 patients, they are in ready for visit stage. Oh, let me expand it out again. They are in the ready for visit. And then under the in progress, we have 1 patient, Catherine. In progress meaning they are already seen by the provider. In this case, it's a video call. So this dashboard, mainly for the virtual, but we can definitely combine virtual visits and your in-person visit and create a hybrid dashboard for you. All right, so let's pretend I'm the doctor. I'm not the real doctor. Disclaimer, just for the demo. Okay, so as a provider, I need to be very efficient and minimize time to prep, check in, check out patient. So this requires having a clear way to know where my patient is, right? Are they ready for me? And then I need to communicate with my care team members. And this dashboard makes it easy for all the care team members and to maximize their roles and exactly know where the patient is. So for example, we have a color coding tagging systems for easy identification. So for this patient, Louis, I see that, he's for me and then he's urgent. And I also see that he needs an interpreter. So meaning like when I call the patient, I should anticipate seeing an interpreter in the group video call. And also I see the tag ready for physician. So I can jump on a video call with him right away, right? But if I need to check with our nurse, if I want to ask question to my nurse, I can say, hey, Jesse, something about the patient. And I can also send a direct message to the patient, for the better engagement. Hey, Louis, I'll be with you in a minute. So we allow these direct communication. And then for other patients like Jackson, right, he's for me, but you see, it's no host. So meaning that no one or my nurse hasn't talked to him. So he's like, not ready for me. So I can skip that patient. And the next patient, he's like ready for me. And I see my nurse already talked to him. And then for the in progress call, for example, this patient, Catherine, I see that this patient is for me. Also another patient, Dr. Charles, she was already talking to her. So what I can do is I can quickly check with Dr. Charles. Hey, Dr. Charles, do you still need me for this call? If she said yes, I can jump on the call and then join the group video call. So this is the dashboard. Let me close these windows. So this dashboard, the takeaway message is that this is a single dashboard that gives you the team-wide transparency into patient next steps for the rapid response time. So in order to reduce the patient wait times, in order to increase the patient satisfaction. And this unique capability, this is what allows Texas Oncology to replicate their in-person visit online, and also they reduced missed calls and phone tags. And it significantly reduced their patient wait time from 11 minutes to less than 1 minute because of this workflow. And for this dashboard, we have developed various versions because, we can customize it. So for example, we also built the virtual dispatch workflow for our client Tele 911 to quickly sort and filter urgent and non-urgent emergency calls. All right. So for each patient, if I want to see their details, I can just click on their name, and then I can see all of their demographic information here. Like, if I need to take a look at their like a history, their medications, before I call them, I can take a look at it here. All right, now I'm gonna go to the health dashboard. So under the health dashboard, the care team can see all the patient trackers. So at a glance, provider can see how their patient population is doing for each condition. And then for each condition, these are clickable segments. So to see like, who are in the normal range, and then who are in the high risk. And then for each of the patients, if you can turn on and turn off the alerts. So if I want to turn on the alert, I can just click on this bell icon, turn it on, and then I want the SMS notification for this patient. And I can also adjust the risk range for each tracker. So if my patient falls out of this range, I'll get the alerts and then I can take immediate actions. All right. So let me close it up. Okay, so that's it for the provider. Let me switch over to the admin capabilities. So under the admin, I want to show you 3 things. The first one is the smart analytics and reporting. So what you're seeing here right now is the powerful data dashboard that provides insights into your programs. And you can easily track performance overview across multiple programs. For example, right now I'm looking at the all clinics. And if I want to see the specific clinic, I can also choose it here. All right. And I can also choose the time frame for this view. All right. And so this current view shows you some of the major KPIs tracking, for example, operational efficiency. So for operational efficiency, we look at the patient wait time. So right now it's 2.7 minutes and it's red, meaning it's really bad compared to the previous period. So by looking at these data, you can make informed decision for example, either to improve the workflow or to increase the staffing to reduce your patient wait time. We can also collect the survey results, and we can also collect like patient and provider ratings and also their reviews to monitor their satisfaction. And then if you want to create a new report, you can do drag and drop, very simple, and you can also apply our existing templates. Okay. And again, this is the out-of-the-box KPI tracking analytics dashboard. We can customize it to include additional data tracking and monitoring for you. And you can also request customized reports, and then we can automatically send it to you periodically. All right. The next one I want to show you is the no-code configurations. Remember, no-code configurations meaning your admin team, they can do changes themselves. Because like mostly these changes are just like on-off buttons. So they can turn on, turn off. And then if they want to, turn off the walk-in visit, only turn on the scheduled appointment, they can quickly do it here. And then for the trackers, providers and admins, they can also turn on these trackers and then choose each data that they want to see. And then even for each data, they can adjust the risk range for their entire patient population or for the individual patient. So, depending on your needs. Okay. All right. The last one I want to show you under admin is the role-based access. So for users, end user, mainly admins and providers, we can give them specific access. For example, for John, let me take a look at his user role. So right now he is a clinic admin. And if I want to give him more roles like user admin, scheduler, I can also do that. And then again, this is our default roles. Of course, our enterprise customer, they always have their specific roles. So we can add them in and then customize it. All right. So let me save changes. All right, and then that's it for the live demo. I'm going to switch back to the presentation. Erica, I will stop sharing. I keep forgetting to stop sharing. You know why? Because our product VSee, multiple people can share at the same time. You don't have to switch back and forth. Okay.
So
right.
Becky, I just want to remind you on time. It's
okay.
We're almost at 15 minutes. So.
Yes. All right. I will quickly go over. Okay. Can you go to next, please? Next slide.
Yes.
Oh, too fast. Okay, call center workflow. So I know that Moffitt also cares about the efficiency. So that's why I want to share the call center workflow that I mentioned in the very beginning that we did for the Magellan. So what you're seeing here is our no scroll, one-click user experience with a single combined view of different schedules across multiple locations, multiple programs, and multiple providers. And then you can also filter by like specialties or visit types. And then just see the soonest available appointment for the patient and then click it, book it. So with this efficient custom call center workflow, Magellan was able to minimize their scheduling frictions, and then they were able to secure more appointments. And now they scale up from 2 to 5 programs. All right, so that's it for the call center. And then the next, so besides our platform, we also have professional services. The first one is the healthcare design. I have mentioned it many times already. We have our own in-house design, implementation, engineering teams, you name it. So we can provide these services to you to create your tailored solution. And the second is we have a patient adoption program, so we can provide 24/7 support to your patients. And the third one is the user training program. So we have a training team and a VSee Academy to train and onboard all of your end user providers, admin, your super users, you name it. And then other services are research, consultation, program management, and also clinician staffing. Right? Okay, next. Next is the Sonar EHR integration for DaVita that we have done. We are very happy to share that DaVita team is very pleased with Erica and then the VSee team for their Sonar integration. So Erica will talk more about the EHR integration. All right, Erica.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Becky. Then I was just happy with me. That would be overclaim. That's a whole entire team of people working together. Okay, so let me just briefly, since we're kind of running behind on time, talk a little bit about how the integration could work. From our point of view, there are like 3 different components in our EMR integration. The first one is a provider app, and for Cerner integration, we basically use these are all Smart on Fire apps. The first one is the provider app that's launched directly from PowerChart. So, there's 2 places that you can open VSee. The first one is on the organizer view on top. That will actually open into some kind of dashboard, maybe the health dashboard or communication dashboard or something like that. That's not patient specific. And the other one is inside the patient chart that you have the content menu on the left. You click on VSee, then you open any kind of patient specific information, whether it's upcoming appointment or any kind of forms and stuff like that they actually fill out before they check in. So earlier we have a question regarding whether the chat, a conversation with patient that's embedded, basically integrated with the EHR. This is the one way you can see the integration basically from PowerChart. You single sign on. You don't have to do a separate login. You see VSee's content inside here. If you want some of these conversations to be tagged or labeled as a part of the consultation, then we have to do the background Fire-based or HL7-based integration to actually push those in to specific visit records. So there's different kinds of chat you're talking about here that we can probably talk about what your needs are. The second part is the patient app. Cerner only do with the exception of their own patient portal, Healthy Life, patient health. I think that's what Moffitt is using today. We can create a standalone patient app, whether it's a web portal or native mobile app for Android and iOS. And then these will actually communicate with the fire server in the background. So log them in, pour their personal information. And if you want to do one way or 2 way, we can probably do both. The third one is a system app. These are things that needs to be updated continuously in the background, even if the user is not doing anything. For example, if the provider or the scheduler is scheduling something within Cerner's revenue cycle, then we'll pull on a regular basis every minute or so whether there's a new update on the appointment so that we can send the update to the patient portal and let them know your appointment has been updated or there's a new result coming in. So any kind of things that need to be notified on a continual basis, we'll do it in the system background app. And these are all on the Fire R4, which is what Cerner supports today. So these are not, I guess no integration is identical. And so I just kind of talk a little bit about the process of how the integration, work, approximately look like. So there are 4 major phases: the planning, implementation, testing, and go live. So during planning phases, which is the key, this whole thing, we gather everybody, all the stakeholder, all the end user, business owners and operational team, medical, officers of any sort, nurse, team. It's basically everybody come together to gather requirement to find out exactly what our goal is to accomplish for integration. And then that will go into a technical discussion with your integration team, anywhere from architecture, if there's fire resources that's not implemented yet that needs to be spelled out. If anything that's not fire ready, then whether it's HL7 messages or just a spreadsheet using secure FTP upload and download. You can even imagine if we have integration that's outside of Cerner, sometimes this will be discussed together here too, because we need to know exactly how data is flowing and which way is it flowing, who has the master data, who is just acting as a client end and things like that. All that needs to be mapped out. And then finally, the most important is timeline and resource planning, which team has what time, when we can actually get on and start doing the work. So all that detailed planning. Implementation, initially VSee will be doing its side mostly on the Cerner co-console. So we'll do our testing. If there's anything new that needs to be implemented, we'll be testing with the Cerner the sandbox. And then they move on to the real testing phase where, we will be working with your team to test in your developer environment for Cerner. And then we will do it around a staging environment. And let's go through all the stuff, the requirements, and do UAT testing. And then finally, go live, which is similar But most important one, go live, is the data migration, because getting your existing data migrated to VSee, or does it include sources from somewhere else? Sometimes it's your you have a data warehouse somewhere else, or you have a third-party document management system that needs to be connected to. All that stuff actually taking significant amount of time with the data migration. And then training and onboarding, as Becky mentioned, we provide ongoing webinars and things like that. And then go live. And this process doesn't end. It goes back to if we are adding more. So we're talking about if there's like phase 1, phase 2. So it goes back in the loop, and we will do ongoing support to make that happen. So, all right, next, Milton.
First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to present all of you. And I'll wrap up my section in 4 minutes. So one of the things that Becky mentioned is we do a lot of innovation projects. For example, we do a lot of stuff where you're blending mental health and physical health. We know that, for example, oncology is very stressful for the patient and the members. For example, we have built-in PHQ-9 for depression, GASM for anxiety, automatic health scores. It's very easy to blend these into part of the Moffitt workflow. Another big theme of our innovation is how to extend Moffitt into the patient's homes through these very simple, low-cost devices that can pull the data into your dashboard. Another big area we've been doing work is around artificial intelligence and remote clinical trials. You could think of VSee as a building block where you can drop in different AI modules to keep track of events, to keep track of imaging, so diagnosis, able to create a unified workflow. And the last piece is on the innovation. Is one of the things we're pretty excited is so the United Nations has tasked me to create a telemedicine course. In fact, the course will start on October 4th. So the idea is, the United Nations is really interested in using the VSee set of building block. The power is you can actually use these building blocks, give out to other developers, and have them able to create their own homegrown solution. And then we're also part of the Premier Network. Premier selected VSee as we're pretty excited to all the stuff we're building for you guys, other Premier member. There's a lot of synergy between these. We go to the next slide. Then in terms of healthcare equities, we have done a lot of projects in the U.S., again, improving healthcare equity and diversity. For example, the Arizona statewide palliative care program was designed right by our company. We're bringing palliative care services to the Native American reservation, to traditional minority areas, and that was extremely successful group. And we've been working with the Maven project for the last 8-9 years to bring specialists into the FQAC settings. And our biggest project is our AIMing project. This is in partnership with Premier and Love Has No Limits, the YMCA, where this is where we actually want to bring these sort of very low-cost primary and urgent care service to Americans. For example, Love Has No Limit has thousands of churches into the spread across America, and they're really excited to work with our system to just bring care to these churches community. And of course, YMCA, they're really excited to just spread all, it become a fabric of community. We think the AIMing service thing could become a perfect model to plug into the Maven internal matching clinical trial patients, as well as advanced screening and so on. Becky, you go next. And we're also really excited about our diverse women-led and minority-led team. Again, this is showing some of the leadership team. Again, we're really proud from the executive level to the management level. We're well diverse spread across our entire enterprise. Can you go next slide? One thing I want to share that one thing I know the demo that Becky showed was quite overwhelming thing, but the big takeaway is the live demo that Becky showed you, that was done in 2 hours. That was the power of the VSee, low code, no code. You could create these very complex workflows in a matter of a couple of hours. And by the way, that everything she showed you, that could be released by you guys next week. Right? Literally, we just need to load up your providers, load our system. These are productions are ready to go. And then the various design that Becky showed you, those could be done in a matter of 3 to 6 months in there. Again, these are very, using again the building block, you can create very powerful workflows, again, from matters of hours to a couple of months in this. So again, in summary, just using our no-code, low-code, right? It really gives you that lowest life cycle cost, not only the time speed to market. So what I mean by the 1 day, 1 month guarantee is often when we work our clients, right? They really excited. Once they go live, they have new insight and they want to change their workflow. So our commitment to you is if the things you need falls in our no-code, we give you a 24-hour guarantee. You give us a request, we make the changes in 24 hours, you'll be production release to you there. And then the 1 month is if your request falls into our low code. Again, our 1 month guarantee is just give it the request in 1 month, you'll be production release. Again, this is we encourage you if they change your mind going forward. Yes. And then we're pretty excited to be a premier contracted vendor. And we're in the final stage as being certified as a minority supplier. I think we have all the documents prepared. We just need to, I think like the final 2022 tax return that will be all certified. And Becky.
All right, next slide, Erica. Okay, so this is the last slide. I just want to summarize everything we have shown you today. So under the patient portal, we cover 8 different topics. And we also show you provider and admin capabilities, Cerner integration, our professional services to create your custom solution. We have training and support. Our platform is secure and compliant. And we have also shown you our innovative project with our previous clients. And then we are committed to, the equity and diversity. And for the NMSDC certificate, we are already in the 3rd round. So we will be closing it very shortly and get our certificate. All right, next slide, Erica. All right, we thank you so much again. And we are going to the moon and we would love to have you to come with us. All right, now it's time for the Q&A. So if you have questions, please state your name and title. But I think if you talk, we can find your name here. So, all right, it's open for questions.
Okay, maybe to answer the question is a messaging feature integrated into your EMR? Yes, in there. So typically what we do is there's a couple of different ways. One is the Cerner has its own messaging piece. You could actually have the VSee, the patient portal side, to interface into there. And then what Erica doesn't show, what we do for DaVita, you can have this sort of smart app, this sort of VSee widget, integrate as part of the Cerner that can also let you do the messaging directly.
Sorry, just to follow up on that, Milton. You had 2 pathways, one which would go to Message Center and one which would be the Slack type messaging, which would push end users to your Smart on Fire app within the EMR. Am I understanding that right?
That's right.
Do you have any? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing you might say is that what's a trade-off in the one, of course, is just when the provider live within the Cerner experience, there's no additional training, it's easy. Then if you were to use the VSee widget, not only you get able to chat, you get this unified communication. You can click one button, able to call their patient's phone, and so on. So give the provider some walkthroughs on the single dashboard.
Do you have any Cerner clients up where you actually have integrated into Message Center? And how many Cerner clients do you have currently?
So at that moment, we do not have the integrated into the messaging center yet, but we actually very close with Cerner on the Oracle side. So we actually have a strategic partnership discussion behind the scenes with Oracle and Cerner in there. And in terms of our number of Cerner clients in there, so we have a bunch of activity around the Cerner on the military side. So the context behind there is Humana picked VSee and Philips as part of the supplier for the Humana TRICARE program. So we're doing a bunch of integration on that side. And then another side is entire country, Qatar or Qatar, the whole country runs on VSee as an exclusive digital health platform. They also are a Cerner shop. So we actually do a bunch of integration on those as well.
Thank you.
Okay. In terms of questions, in terms of how many languages supported, we support over 20 languages right now. So typical common one like Spanish, in there, like a common language, European language, that's like the American languages. And Erica, do you have that exact list?
No, I will send the exact list
Okay.
to Nani later on. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Great.
In terms of registration, I saw that you, in the demo, you had the ability to declare someone ineligible for registration. How is that done? And also as a follow-up to that, what IDP, identity provider, are you all using? And is it integrated in with Cerner?
Yeah, let me maybe tie it up a couple of different threads in this. So in terms of eligibility, so the most common way we have done in the past is you will give us an eligibility file. We could even pull that, like if you have an API we could pull against, we could just pull that directly. Or you could just give us an eligibility file either on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. We typically have some sort of set up a secure FTP exchanges in there. So we'll just map against that in there. Then in terms of like the things like some of the single sign-on, those mechanisms, so we actually are using Kata as a thing. So that will give you things on the single sign-on, multi-factor authentication in there. We signed the BAA with both Google and Apple. So if you decide to allow Google single sign-on or Apple single sign-on, so those are also available. But I know sometimes healthcare systems don't feel comfortable with this consumer system. So those are also if you decide to turn that on, it is HIPAA compliant because we'll give it a BAA chains in there. But if you decide not to do it, then of course we can turn them on.
Yeah, maybe Milton, Okta. I think you sound a little
Okay, sorry.
You sound weird.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah. So when an account is actually fully registered, though, is that account written back into the Cerner IDP?
That's correct. Go ahead. Okay.
I feel like that's probably a conversation we need to have. Because Becky showed you the possibility that you're going to have a set of users that are prospects, but not really your patient yet. And then there's another set of patient that's already existing patient. So, we're thinking more along the line. There will be a phase where they will sign up actually account on the app, but actually doesn't have a Cerner account yet. I'm not sure that's whether the direction you're going, or is every single patient will be an existing patient on Cerner. In that case, we'll just directly go log them in to serve Cerner. Using Fire ADP or Fire demographic resources. So,
yeah, your question back to me is a good one. I don't think we fully fleshed that out. But I was just wondering how you normally tackled that with other customers, because a backbone to this is that journey from an unknown, anyone to possibility of merging that account to an existing account to creating a new account.
Right.
And then that IDP thing, all that kind of piles in there with, certification with Cerner, and having that account existing. I didn't know if you already had a.
Yeah. So we have either or, but we don't have the transition from one type to another one, today. Maybe Anton, you can pitch in if
Perhaps we say this a different way to help you. We're not asking for a transition from one identity to another. What we're actually asking for is you to manage a universal ID that has multiple connectors into, and you have experience with multiple EMRs, as I understand it. And so it would be very similar there. Are you navigating them to the local identity, or are you able to manage to a universal identity that allows them to connect to their respective system?
Got you. So the way we have been doing it, and I don't, maybe us up for discussion with you guys too, is we have our internal ID, but we have basically, we map it into different entities. That let's say if we're pulling data from different ones, we may be keeping a table of how that one single identity from us is mapped to like Cerner or maybe from their other data sources. So that's how we've been doing it so far. But we are also open for discussion an alternative way to maybe use another third-party vendor for kind of manage that all together for us. That's also a possibility.
So that's perfect. So presently you're maintaining internally a universal ID and then mapping them to
that's right. Yeah.
What they're authenticated to and what they're authorized for.
Right.
That's
so
fine.
For example, we will keep a table with things like a medical record number, which system it goes to and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Jeff, is that better? I think that's what we're trying to ask here.
Yes.
Because we may have an identity authority for something before you're a patient. And so they would have
that's very common. Yeah, we do single sign-on for both patient and provider too. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we just need to know like some identifier really. We need to work on this together with you. I think usually this is MIN number or like NPIs for providers. But same account can cross-reference different EMR systems, like same user record on our side. Yeah. So that's totally possible.
Okay, great. So, Karen,
did anyone ask an elephant in the room question about Sorian? I'm sorry, I was expecting it, I didn't hear it.
Sorry, Rick, I've been hopping on and off, so I was waiting for that conversation to end.
I heard Jason ask about Cerner and messaging, some other pieces. I haven't heard anyone ask, are you aware that we use, someone else, Daniel asked.
Let me kick it off. So here at Moffitt, we have Sorian as our registration platform. So I know in part of the demo that I was, and I apologize, I've been off and on, but for the most part, you're talking about the Cerner EMR integration with FHIR, but our dependency is using Sorian as the source of truth for all registration. So a patient gets registered in Sorian, that feeds Cerner to allow the workflow to do any scheduling needs. And then from the financials, it comes back into Sorian for any claims and billing, right? So when we look at these platforms for the patient experience, one, if the patient is established, you want that FHIR connection to tie into your source registration system. So that's part one. Two, an existing issue that I've seen as far as a platform is when new patients use these platforms, making sure that they're tying into the next available MRN and that all systems are in sync. So do you have any experience with going through some type of split system where registration comes out of one area and scheduling comes out of another? And how do you tie that all back in?
Yeah, that's probably something I have to say. We don't have a direct experience with Sorian.
We actually don't. We're not surprised by that. But I think the real question is, we're not surprised by that. That's a conversation we have to have. But the question really, I love the way you teed that up, is working across disparate systems, not all in systems.
Right. Remember, I was talking about the go live portion where the data migration happened. We have definitely experienced where MRN numbers have different number of digits coming from. A lot of our clients are transitioning from one EMR to another one. And so even their internal data is a mess. And then so there's a lot of cleaning up to do, migrating from one to another one and be able to sort of still backward compatible and be able to do that. So we do have that kind of experience working with people who are transitioning from one EMR to another.
Yeah, some of these actually have multiple MRNs as well.
Yeah.
That also happens.
Yeah. So it's so no experience with Saurian, and you answered that, I think, in the RFP as well. Multiple systems, you're not dependent or are dependent on Smart on Fire or Fire specifically as your way to integrate? No. So RESTful APIs or make them up or something like that.
Right. So we have our own private API. We also use EMR's private API as well. I think that even Cerner has a lot of legacy stuff that's coming from their old private API days that we're still using some of that as well. And they're just trying to move everything to Fire today. So we use Fire as much as we can because that's kind of the path forward, but there's no getting around working with older stuff.
But just to clarify another question though, and if I missed it, I apologize. For a new patient that has never been to Moffitt, did you guys have the opportunity to create a new patient experience or platform to allow them to register through your application?
Just our application or?
Yes.
That's the default. Usually we started out doing that, but if the integration is an ideal case, then we work with that. But otherwise, most of our projects start with people want to do telehealth. So in the beginning, they don't even care about any integration. And then it's always the aftermath. They realize that, but we want to take it back to our, regular brick and mortar practice. And how do we actually transition that? So by default, it's like we create patient account on our end only. Brand new experience, onboarding, everything is on us.
So that's all going through your side, but it's not feeding back to our source systems.
Not until the integration is already, finished. Okay. So I will imagine you guys will want to do integration right based day one. So that's a whole different conversation.
Right, because we would hate to, in at least in my vision, in a perfect solution, we want everything to be seamless. If there's information that is updated by the patient, we want that to integrate back discreetly into the system. Mm-hmm. Right. And if there is a new patient who wants an experience at Moffitt, we want some ability to be able to create that patient without creating duplicates if the patient already existed or if they use a different name. Today my name is Daniel, but I put in Danny and it doesn't recognize that my name is already in the system and it creates a duplicate account. So, for creating new patients, let's say you are completely integrated. Do you have a duplicate patient checker or some type of filter to prevent duplicate patients from being created?
Yeah, we certainly do. And I think we can work out which fields exactly you want to do this match by. Yeah, because it may vary so far. Yeah. Important to know what is going to be the source of truth or for the data. Yeah. There's no problem pushing data back into some other system from us or pulling the data. But I think, we need to identify which is the source of truth most of the time. Is it our cloud database or is it the Cerner? So that depends on the workflows as well, where the patients get registered most of the time and self-registration and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, usually name and date of birth, even, tossing the MRI number is not sufficient sometimes. So the more fields that we get, the better to be able to sort that out. And a lot of times they have an alternative name.
Emails, phone numbers are not
useless.
Consistent. From our experience, that we better not use as identifier. Yeah.
And is there a limitation how many fields we use for matching?
Not really.
Okay.
And those may be custom fields as well. Yeah. Something we don't have now on the form. on the registration form, we can add more fields and make those like unique part of the unique kind of hash or whatever, for that user.
The problem is patients don't usually know their medical record number. And then everything else, not everybody have everything. Some people don't have email, some people don't have social security number. So there's no magic bullet.
They mistype it. Mistype
it all the time too.
Even like 4 digits, yeah.
Cool. All right, thank you.
There is a question in the chat box from Karen Paxton, and I don't think that's been addressed. Is the 24/7 patient support a paid service?
During the contracting phase, so typically we'll figure out the exact support models. We do offer that as a paid service. And typically we have some maybe in the beginning of the phase, we do a little more the support than after we settle into like a regular support. But these are all part of the contract.
Okay. And the second part is there a time frame to support patients upon go live that is built into the contract?
So that one is also based on the exact parameter you guys requirements. We have the capacity to get a lot of support. We just will figure out exactly what you need.
Excellent. Are there other questions?
Yes. Hi, good afternoon. Dana Wisher. I manage our patient portal support team here at Moffitt. And if it isn't decided to be part of the contract process, can you speak to what some of the best practices are for a tier 1 support model, which would be my team? And during that process, do you have the ability to have a tier 1 support agent to log into a patient's account, to see where they are in the process, to see what they're experiencing?
Yeah, Dana, thanks for the question. So VSee does have the ability to use using screen sharing to be able to, so for example, I'll use maybe GE's MRI, CT. If you use those big scanners, so you actually use VSee to provide technical support. So make it very easy, just click a button and allow your support staff to see where they are on there and give them guidance in there. And then typically we also, as part of our work program, we create a lot of custom training material with your logo, with your specific workflow. So these will be things you can provide it to the patient there. Then lastly is we typically do quite a bit of work. We know that often is on the consumer side, if they have to get a lot of these for support, that often means is maybe poor user experience design. So this is where we work with your team to make sure any issues that come up to maybe figure out maybe there's some design glitches, we quickly address that. Again, typically in the early basis, we'll have our team, again, almost like embedded as part of your team to making sure all these top issues are quickly resolved. Then after that phase, then we can sort of pull back and be your second line support.
Yeah. And just 2 quick remaining questions on that. Do you allow for a patient to reset the password or a tier 1 agent? And then do you have the ability to provide directional texting on the support model if the Moffitt team were to need tier 1 support?
That's right. So in fact, part of our VSee, we give you this unified communication. So you can do 2-direction chat, texting, phone call, screen sharing. That's all built into the product itself in there. And then in terms of password reset policy in this, so this is a little bit depends on your enterprise policy. So VSee definitely have the capability to let the patient reset their own password. But sometimes healthcare systems, they want to make sure they have a little more control on your end. Again, I'll say this is a bit, you tell us your enterprise policy on the password reset, then those will be implemented as part of our system.
Great. Thank you so much.
Are there any other questions?
I'll ask one more. have you had any clients successfully attest for promoting interoperability using your product? And if so, how did you help them achieve it, especially given that you guys didn't go through the ONC certification process?
Good question. Or Erica want to take a shot? Or maybe I could take a shot. That's maybe they can. So we don't have client that would go to a test for that thing. So I think we as a tradition has been to sort of building block in there. One thing I could mention, we do have some project that on the horizon that people pick VSee specifically for the interoperability. So the entire country of Philippines, the Ministry of Health, so they actually have all these sort of disparate like EMRs, there's all sorts of different things. So actually he picked VSee to become the universal glue for the entire country. In fact, they actually arranged funding from the US government to support this whole project. This is again so typically from the HL7 to FAR to private interfaces in there. So as Becky mentioned, is maybe at our core is we're like the bunch of nerdy engineers, if you will. So we actually have like a lot of these sort of nerdy engineers that write a lot of code in this. So typically when we interface the system, if they have standard base in there, we're really happy with that. We just leverage that. But we even interrogate in cases where they have some proprietary interface. They will ask us, okay, could you handle those? In that case, because we have such a strong engineering team, often we just figure out here what type of private API they have, and we can still make that work as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Jason, I know there's like, sort of like a weird thing. Is our internal slogan is, we hire really smart engineers to work on really boring problems. So our client doesn't need to, so a lot of the things in there, right? Just like how to give this a calendar, how to give this interface down, how to, so a lot of the things we work on for our client, we call like digital plumbing, just getting these different systems connected together. So then you have this sort of holistic platform.
Erica, do you have anything else to add?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna add to that is like definitely we are not going to tell you when something we don't know and we just pretend we know. We do work with consultants, so there's lots of interop like companies that we work with as outside sort of consulting firms to work with individual projects. So we can always like kind of bring them in if there's something that we don't feel confident to solve. So like any big company like, to Health Gorillas or, things like that, or more of the individual consulting that have years of experience working on interop. So that's sort of the strategy that we take is like when we don't know something, bring in the expertise to help us. So.
Thank you.
Okay, we're almost at about time. Are there any other questions? No. Well, thank you guys for a wonderful presentation. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you so much, Trilani. If you have any other follow-up questions, definitely let us know. Trilani and I are exchanging emails like almost every day. So
True.
Can answer more questions if you have later on.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Go have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.